This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I'm going to repeat this so you know why I'm telling you about the following and asking questions. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41, and I was born in 39. I was brought to Moulton, Alabama, Lawrence County, near Cortland Air Base was being built, and I assume that's how they got me over here and dropped me off in a pigsty and gave me the name of Peggy Dempsey. I married a Childers. And both twins were deceased, killed by their mother. They were born out of wedlock. And I did not find out about my identity, my kidnapping. I'm Victoria II, a legal heir to the British Crown. Elizabeth is illegal. William, and they even named George after my uncle, Elizabeth's father, who helped take down the British Empire and take down my father and helped kidnap me, with Joe Kennedy, who was ambassador at that time, appointed by Roosevelt. Here's a picture the year I was born. That's George, Elizabeth's father, and who the William was named after. I mean, how dare them? And this is Roosevelt. Now then, who appointed Kennedy ambassador in the New World Order, the Rockefellers and Rothschilds. And now I'm going to jump to the media here. And the world media really at this point, I would think, is controlled by the Rockefellers. What happened, real quick, before I get to what I want to say, I don't want to lose you here. My father, Edward VIII, I'm going to show you his picture, was taken out because he was an honest man and they couldn't control him, and they installed my Uncle George as king, who's illegal. So he actually works for the United States, and he allowed military bases, the United States military bases all over British soil, used it as a launching pad to control the world and also control my other relatives who were monarchs back then. That would be Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. And the Netherlands. I know now that the Netherlands, Beatrix, and I suppose her lineage there, with Elizabeth, who's illegal, are part of the New World Order and the ones that helped kidnap me. So that tells you about the quote, they're not the royal family, but that's when they say God save the Queen. This woman is so guilty of crime. She's using my money. She's given away Great Britain. It's unreal. But so why is this okay with everybody? When they brought me here to this country, well, that's all falling down. When they brought me to this country in 41, where they put me, they stole my identity. And they took me from my father and mother. My father and mother never got me back. They love me. I've never heard anyone say anything but, quote, like, this is my father, Edward VIII. And that is a double that married Wallace Simpson. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, and I don't have a picture of my mom. This is Georgia, the artist, and that's my aunt. Now then, I wrote about mind control, and I wanted to get that in if I've got time to go on to the other on this tape. And while I was doing it, I'm just going to show this because it's a picture of, I was in Marietta, Georgia, and writing the book 76 to 79. But I was living at Moonraker Apartments in Marietta, and the title of the book was MD, A License to Kill. Larry Flint was brought into Lawrenceville, Georgia, which is about 45 miles from where I was in Cobb County. And the person that shot him and killed his attorney were programmed. He was programmed to shoot him. So he's a victim himself, really. Now then, I'm going to skip because I had a letter from the FBI June the 23rd, which is my father's birthday, by the way, but it was in 79, of course. And then on April Fool's Day of 80, I got fearful antifreeze and should have died, gone in a coma and died. I wish there was photos of just that one incident of my life to show the laws that have been broken. Nobody's touched it. I was illegally taken across the state line back to Huntsville with a woman who was not my mother, thank God, that killed her twins and just destroyed me growing up. That family did. And they hid it because she would have faced the death penalty. Now then, so that I can get this, I hope, on this video and not have to use another one, this is just where Flint endorsed me and said I knew who was responsible for his shooting and said they made a pauper out of me. So I'm not going to try to tell the other than the antifreeze. I mean, it's a list of daily things, horrific crimes, terrifying that were done to me and my sons, Mark and Scott. By the way, this is an old photo, but this is my sons, Mark. That's Scott, and Mark's the heir after me, and I have no idea if they're alive or dead. I haven't seen them or heard from them since really I saw Mark briefly in '83 during that campaign to replace Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor. This is one of the mind control murders because I was writing about that long before, or knew about it long before I started writing about mind control murders. They were done in patterns. So the ones I speak of are done in patterns, and I don't know how many times that mind control that's invisible has been used to murder or alter decision making, etc., etc. But this is the Virginia Tech. The shootings, the 33 were mind control and patterns. This is the psychiatrist who went to school at Virginia Tech, Blacksburg, and became a psychiatrist, and this is he who did the shootings at Fort Hood. He's a victim of mind control, and this is Century Aurora, Colorado, the theater. And James Holmes is being treated for mental illness and given psychotic drugs when he's a victim of mind control. Now then, and this is Mark Kelly and Gabby, his wife, and he's a twin, and there's a point to this. It's in the patterns. This is the Tucson, Arizona shootings, and his brother Scott Kelly, and they're astronauts, both of them, but there's a point to that because it includes the patterns. Now then, I'm going to run out of time before I get to say this. I want to ask about this, and I hope I don't have to go to another one. The blacks in Atlanta, Mrs. King, she knew about the antifreeze being put in me. She knew about my name before I ever did, who I am, and they did not attempt to help me. In other words, they thwarted any efforts because they brought up South Africa to me when I tried to meet with her and tell her about mind control and that I was pretty sure it was used on Martin Luther King, her husband, and the Kennedys. Of course, then I did not know that Kennedy had helped kidnap me and JFK, who flew into Great Britain all the time. And I didn't know my identity about South Africa and being Victoria II, monarch, legal monarch, British monarch. So they did not help me, and I wanted to address this because what do they call me, the media? Are they prejudiced against me because they kidnapped me and they committed the crimes? I'm white. I'm a monarch. There has been such a list of crimes done, it's preposterous. They do not want it told. Now then, the Oprah may buy the Clippers out of the hands of Donald Sterling, NBA, because of racist remarks that they said he reported made. $25 million fine and he's banned. All of Sterling is banned